Neil Young's music is getting pulled from Spotify after the singer accused podcaster Joe Rogan of spreading COVID-19 misinformation on the streaming service. Young threatened earlier this week to pull his catalog from the platform over Rogan's podcast, saying it spread lies about COVID-19 vaccines. On Wednesday, the singer thanked his label, Warner Music Group, for standing with his decision to reject Spotify and encouraged other musicians to do the same. He added that Spotify accounted for 60% of his music streaming and a, quote, huge loss for his record company. In a statement, Spotify responded that it regretted Neil's decision and that it's worked to balance both safety for listeners and freedom for creators. It added that it had removed over 20,000 podcast episodes related to COVID-19 in accordance with its detailed content policies. Rogan's Spotify podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, is the top-rated podcast on the platform. He spread controversial views over government mandates and vaccines and claimed he used ivermectin, an anti-parasite drug that has no proven use against COVID-19. Earlier this month, over 250 scientists and medical professionals signed a letter urging Spotify to take action against Rogan.
Tesla sped past Wall Street estimates for quarterly revenue Wednesday, but warned supply chain issues could continue through this year. Despite the challenges, Tesla handed over a record number of vehicles to customers in the last quarter. Revenue rose to $17.72 billion in the fourth quarter from $10.74 billion a year earlier. The electric car maker has not been as affected by a hampered supply chain as other auto competitors have, but in a statement, Tesla said, quote, "Our own factories have been running below capacity for several quarters as supply chain became the main limiting factor, which is likely to continue through 2022. Shares of Tesla fell in extended trading. The company also said on Wednesday that its new factory in Austin has started production of Model Y late last year, with plans to start deliveries to customers after final certification. It said it aims to maximize output from its California factory beyond 600,000 vehicles per year. That goal comes as Tesla, the world's most valuable automaker, faces rising competition from rivals who are set to launch an array of electric cars, from more affordable models to electric pickups.
Today, Ambassador Sullivan delivered our written response in Moscow.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Wednesday said the U.S. delivered written replies to sweeping Russian security demands since World War II.
All told, it sets out a serious diplomatic path forward, should Russia choose it.
Blinken said that while the document offers areas where the two constructive. When asked, Blinken confirmed that personal sanctions on Putin, though a rare step, were an option.
When it comes to sanctions, I think as you heard the president say, everything is on the table.
Blinken said he expects to speak with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov about the document in the coming days to discuss next steps.
Right now, the document is with them and the ball is in their court. Whether they choose the path of diplomacy and dialogue, whether they decide to renew aggression against Ukraine, we're prepared either way. Thank you.
So let's say hypothetically, a Supreme Court justice was to retire and announce it on his or her own terms. Does President Biden plan to honor his pledge to nominate a black woman to the court?
Well, I've commented on this previously. The president has stated and reiterated his commitment to nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court and certainly stands by that. For today, again, I'm just not going to be able to say anything about any specifics until, of course, Justice Breyer makes any announcement, should he decide to make an announcement.
Hypothetically, theoretically, would someone who was an attorney general of a large state and who served with many key Senate votes be an attractive candidate to the president for an open Supreme Court seat?
I see what you did there, Peter. But the president has every intention, as he said before, of running for re-election, and for running for re-election with Vice President Harris on the ticket as his partner. But again, I will just reiterate that I have nothing more to offer in terms of specifics or information on the reports this morning.
In light of the remarkable progress we've seen in the labor market and inflation that is well above our 2% longer run goal, the economy no longer needs sustained high levels of monetary policy support. That is why we are phasing out our asset purchases and why we expect it will soon be appropriate to raise the target range for the federal funds rate. I would say this: the balance sheet is much bigger. It has a shorter duration than the last time, and the economy is much stronger, and inflation is much higher. So, and I think that leads you to, and I've said this, being willing to move sooner than we did in the last time, and also perhaps faster. But beyond that, it's really not appropriate for me to speculate exactly what that would be. We haven't gotten to that point yet. We haven't made a decision yet, and we'll make that decision at the March meeting. We'll make a decision whether to raise the federal funds rate. I would say that the committee is of a mind to raise the federal funds rate at the March meeting, assuming that conditions are appropriate for doing so. We have our eyes on the risks, particularly around the world, but we do expect some softening in the economy from Omicron, but we think that should be temporary, and we think that the underlying strength of the economy should show through fairly quickly after that. So there's a substantial amount of shrinkage in the balance sheet to be done. That's going to take some time. We want that process to be orderly. We're going to have another discussion at the next meeting, and my guess is we'll have at least one other discussion at the meeting after that. And we'll tell you as we make progress, and we'll start the process of allowing runoff and shrinking the balance sheet at what we find to be the appropriate time.